This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeaky, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Ladera by Pavestone. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, and with me is my right-hand man, Jim Kenzie. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Leslie.
Oh, what's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about, my past as a child, listening to Glum from Gulliver's Travels. Remember him?
I do remember him, but you made me think of Eeyore also.
It's a lot like Eeyore. Yeah, it's basically Mr. Dismal. Everything's going to, heck.
Oh, boo.
Actually, life is great.
Good. I was going to say, how's your autumn going? So don't be so sad.
Oh, I'm not sad at all. I'm just being silly. Autumn's great. I love fall. Fall has got to be my number one season, man.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, I love being on the soccer sidelines. I love baking apple everything. And of course, the cool, crisp air. So I was thinking, given that we're getting the chill, I'm going to take this hour to help everybody stay warm and save some energy dollars. What do you think?
Nice. That's a lot more upbeat than me, huh?
I mean, I feel like it's just the way I talk. I could be super down, but I'll still be like, oh my God, yes, it's the best day ever.
I am so depressed. This is awesome.
I can't help myself. But all right, guys, seriously, let's think about it. It's getting chilly, and we're all going to be, we were spending a lot on cooling dollars, and now we're going to spend a lot on heating dollars. So let's try to fix that. So if you are feeling a chill, and it's not just because of the fall weather, you may have drafts around your windows, doors, and attics, and they could be silently stealing your energy and hiking up those bills. So we're going to show you easy and effective ways to find and fix those leaks so that you stay warm and your wallet stays full all season long. And maybe you're kind of noticing that those energy bills are starting to creep up. Well, if so, it could be time to just beef up the insulation, but not all types are created equal. So we're going to break down the pros and cons of fiberglass bats, blown-in, spray foam, and rigid foam boards so that you know exactly what will work best, whether you're tackling an attic, a crawl space, or pretty much anything in between. Will help you stay warm and save energy and give you that inside scoop. And are you still heating your home with a thermostat that's older than your favorite pair of fuzzy socks? If you are, it could be time to make the smart switch. We're going to show you how a smart thermostat can lower your energy bills, learn your habits, and make your home cozier, all with a few taps on your phone. Plus, it's really an easy DIY project that pays off fast. So let's get started. Give us a call right now at 888-MONEY-PIT. Jim, who's first?
We have Belle from Bristol, Virginia, joining us on the Money Pit. What's going on at your house, Belle?
We stained our deck with a solid stain a year ago. Not long into the year, the stain started coming up or chipping. Is there a reason for that, and how can you prevent that?
Well, that's too bad. I mean, was this a new deck when you did this?
No. No, it's about 20 years old.
All right. Well, normally the reason that something like that happens is because the deck was just too wet when the stain was put down. If it was damp and not fully dried out, then it just kind of doesn't adhere. Staining decks are tricky because you've got to work with the weather. It can't be too hot because then the stain will dry too quickly. But if it's damp, like in the fall or the spring, it's kind of just hard to get the timing right. So you want to make sure you have a good full day or two of sunshine for it to be right to take that stain. So at this point, I mean, you're just going to have to scrape off any of the loose spots and kind of touch things up or nurse it just along the way, because unfortunately, the full solution here is stripping off the entire stained surface that's on there, and that's a big project. And if it's not coming off in big sheets, I would just kind of, get off what I can and stain and repair those areas what I can, just to kind of buy time until I'm ready to tackle this enormous project. And not that it's enormous, but it's a big project, all right?
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm sorry we didn't have better news for you, but that's the best thing that we can do. And when you are ready, you're going to go to the home center and you're going to get a product that's made to strip stain from wood. You'll mix it up according to the manufacturer's directions. If you get a powder or a liquid, you apply it. It does its job. You rinse it off. And then you have to let it dry and let that wood dry again in the sun for multiple days. And then you can apply the stain. And at this point, you'll probably want to go with a solid stain, just really deposit the color on there and cover up any imperfections. So it's up to you. Kind of wait it out or just go for it. But wait for the weather. All right. Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
You know, Leslie, I find manufacturers' recommendations over the years, I just double it. If it says stay off it for 24 hours, I make it 48.
Yes, agreed.
And does it make a difference? It does in my mind. But I honestly think that those times are like the bare minimum in perfect conditions. It's not real world. You just better longevity if you just let the thing breathe and do its thing and adhere properly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good tip, Jimmy.
It's good to talk to Steve in Arizona, who's got a question about air conditioning. Leslie knows all about replacing those. And it was pretty hot this summer for you guys, so you definitely need it. What's going on out there, Steve?
Yeah, I was just wondering what a 3-ton regular air conditioner would run me.
I mean, that's going to depend because contractors have a wide range of charges that they go through. I can tell you the best way to get this down to a number of contractors to just get them to give you prices. I mean, get estimates from... I just did this for my house. I had 3 different contractors give me estimates, and I had to make sure that it was for the same product because I had 2 giving me an estimate on a 15 SEER unit, and I had 1 giving me an estimate on a 13 SEER unit. And for a minute, I almost didn't see that the SEER rating was different between the 2 and the 3rd, and was like, oh, well, this guy might be a little better. But you have to look at it, and you have to go over all of those options because I was getting, and they were close, which was surprising for the lower SEER rating being almost exactly the same price as the higher. They were ranging for where I live in New York for a full replacement, not with the ducting, but of the air handler and the condensing unit, from about $11,900 to $14,000. So expensive, but could be a huge difference. And it's definitely gone up.
Couldn't you just move your house to the Midwest and it would be a $7,000 job?
Yes, Jim. That's what I would do. Next time when it gets really hot and the air conditioning dies, I'm just going to come in and move with you. I'm going to be like, hey, Jim, I packed everything up. We're here. All of us.
Bring it on. We'd have a blast.
Everything is going up. And you probably don't need to get the most efficient one depending on how long you're going to be in the house. But my mindset is put the right thing in, want it for what you're using it for, and then be like, hey, person who's buying my house, I have something that's super efficient. Because in the end, I think it's going to help you out. But I feel like I'm a sucker for things all the time. You're going to run the gamut. So I would say get bids from 3 different vendors. I would double check that the equipment is all the same. Whether or not it's the same brand, at least it's the same tonnage, it's the same SEER rating, all of that for the house, and make sure that it's properly sized so that it does a good job, okay?
Okay. Well, I appreciate your help and your information on that.
Yeah, good luck with it. Also, check for any sort of, rebates if it's a super efficient unit or anything like that. And generally, the air conditioning, the HVAC folks will be like, hey, this one comes with X, Y, and Z. But don't be afraid to do your own research. It is a big project, and it is an expensive one. Not gonna lie. Good luck with that. Stay cool.
You might even get a tax break.
Hey, are you a fan of our podcast? Well, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and we'll be doing a happy dance. Plus, it helps us keep the show going and growing. Just go to moneypit.com/review.
DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Well, this really is one of my favorite times of the year. It's all about texture and comfort. And one of the easiest ways that you can bring a cozy feeling into your home is by swapping out those lighter summer fabrics for warm, plush textures. So think velvet or chunky knit throw blankets, faux fur pillows, flannel bedding. I love flannel bedding.
No doubt.
I mean, I would have put it on with the air conditioning, but everybody would think I'm crazy. But I do love a flannel sheet, so I'm telling you, it's okay to put them out. You can also add a few earth tone or even jewel tone accent pillows. Think about deep rust, olive, mustard, navy. Those kind of have been a big trend this fall season. And then you can even layer rugs over hardwood floors or directly on top of a low pile carpet. That gives you that extra snug vibe underfoot. And don't forget your curtains. Switching to heavier drapes will help you insulate, and it instantly makes that space feel more grounded for fall. And a lot of this stuff can carry you straight through to the Christmas or Hanukkah holiday season, especially if you're going in that sort of jewel tone color palette, because that works really well for the holiday season too. And I'm not saying you got to switch it up 4 times a year. I mean, you can. And if you do, I'd be so happy and you'd be like my BFF. But, do you guys and just find ways to bring the season in. It just makes everything feel all the more put together. All right, well, let's get back to it. Jim, who do we have up next?
Speaking of homes, Leslie, we've got Catherine on the line with a beautiful old one. How can we help out, Catherine?
I have a brick home, and the one corner around the foundation, some of the brick faces have popped off, and some of the mortar is crumbling. What brand of mortar should I use? And should I follow it up with a rubber sealant or silicone sealant? What type of sealant and what brand? And also, is there one that I can paint so that I can match it to my house? We're only talking about an area of a few bricks and a corner of a house. So it's pretty small area.
All right, Catherine. So you want to repair the deteriorating brick and the mortar. And one of the things that you're probably going to need to think about is the fact that the repair products that you're using have to somewhat match the color that's there. I mean, fortunately, it's not that difficult today because there are dyes that you can mix with the different types of repair products to kind of match, because you're dealing with new product versus stuff that's been there for quite a while and has, aged. Now, in terms of the brick, there is a product from Quikrete called Recap, and it's designed to adhere to old masonry surfaces. And I think you can get this and maybe mix in some of the dye that's available also from Quikrete or other suppliers to get that reddish color that your bricks are, so it's not going to stick out like a sore thumb in this repair that you're making. When you do make this repair, you want to build up maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of deterioration off of the surface, and it's sticks really, really well. Now, in terms of the mortar, that's exactly what you want. You want a mortar repair product because the configuration for mortar is different than basic cement. It's designed to be a little bit stickier, and it's designed to stay inside that joint. And one tool that will help you here is called a pointing trowel. It's very narrow. It's designed to fit between the layers of the brick, and you've got to use, a little bit of work here to do so. But if you've got the right products and the right techniques, everything's going to adhere properly and blend in with the old home that you have right now. And as far as like matching the color tints of things, mix up a little bit, figure out the ratio of the tint to the product, and try it in like a little spot, maybe behind a shrub or something, just to see if you're getting it close. But I think close is going to help you a great deal here, okay? So this way it's just not like stark difference. It will work, Catherine, all right? Good luck with that. Quickrete's going to be your friend here, okay? Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Well, as the crisp fall air starts rolling in, you might be noticing something a little less charming. Those chilly drafts sneaking in around your windows, your doors, even your outlets. And while a cool breeze can feel nice on a hike, it's not so great when it's blowing across your feet while you're trying to relax at home. But here's the thing. Drafts aren't just annoying. I mean, they're expensive. Up to 30% of a home's energy use for heating can slip right out of those cracks, and that's going to cost you real money. The good news, sealing things up is a totally doable weekend project, and it can make a big difference before the really cold weather hits. So first up, you have to find the leaks and find those drafts. And this is really a good, trusted, old school trick. You use incense or a candle. You just wait for a windy day, make sure you don't have any fans or the AC on, and slowly move the candle or that incense stick around your windows, your doors, the baseboards, electrical outlets. If you notice the smoke or the flame waver, you got a leak over there. And you want to pay close attention to exterior doors, especially at the bottom, windows around the trim, not just by the glass, baseboards along the outside facing walls, outlets and light switches on those outer walls because cold air can come through them too. And if you have an attic hatch or a pull down set of stairs. Now, once you've located the areas of problem, you have to get to the ceiling part, not the ceiling over your head, ceiling with an S, like close it up. So for windows and doors, start with weather stripping. It's inexpensive, it's easy to apply, and it can instantly block airflow. So you want to look for foam or rubber adhesive strips that will compress when you close the door or window. A door sweep is another game changer, especially if you feel cold air coming under the exterior door. They're easy to install and they can stop that icy breeze in its tracks. And if you have old windows, a shrink film insulation kit will work wonders. You just apply it with double-sided tape and a hairdryer. I mean, listen, it's not glamorous, but it is effective. Now, if you're looking for some pro-level fixes and you're kind of ready to level up, you can consider caulking around the window trim and baseboards. You can insulate behind those outlet covers with foam gaskets. They're $2. They're shaped just like that outlet or light switch, and you just kind of put them on the backside and reapply, and it really does a great job of cutting out those drafts. And you can add insulation to the attic hatch. Even if it's just a foam board cover, it helps tremendously. You could also consider a home energy audit. I mean, if you really want to go pro, many utility companies offer free or low-cost energy audits. They're going to pinpoint where your home is losing the most heat and sometimes even provide rebates or materials to fix those issues. The bottom line here, guys, is that drafts are sneaky, but sealing them up doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. A few rolls of weather stripping, a tube of caulk, some elbow grease will save you hundreds over the heating season. And let's be honest, you've got better things to do with your money than warm the great outdoors, all right? Okay, well, it's time to get back to you, our listeners. Jim, who's standing by?
We've got Keith in Alaska. He's on the Money Pit. How can we help out today, Keith?
Everyone talks about asphalt or concrete driveway repair and maintenance. I don't hear a lot about gravel or dirt driveway maintenance. What would be a good type of gravel that's compactable but won't rut or erode and won't get dug up by snowplows in the wintertime like we have in Alaska?
All right. Well, that's a great question. You're talking about what's the best type of gravel. I mean, there's actually a number of different types of gravel. I mean, it's not just gravel is gravel. When it comes to a driveway, you definitely want to go with a crushed gravel as opposed to natural gravel. Natural gravel is sort of those squarish stones, and they kind of roll on each other under the stress of the tires. But I think when it comes to a driveway, you want the crushed because it's actually compactable. It kind of settles in much the same way that a road does. That said, it's not going to be strong as an asphalt surface would be, and you're still going to have issues when it comes time to snowplow, and considering you're in Alaska, you're probably doing that a lot. I mean, unless you're real careful with that snowplow, you can definitely start to tear up some of that upper surface and then move it around. It is going to be less expensive than an asphalt driveway, but there's sort of an in-between. Have you ever heard of a tar and chip driveway?
Oh, yeah.
Now, a tar and chip driveway is something you see in a lot of mountainy areas where you have steeper driveways because it gives you a nice grip. And it's what happens. You kind of start with a layer of gravel and then you add asphalt over that. And it's tarred asphalt over that. And then you put a very smaller form of gravel over that. So it's sort of like a sandwich. You're getting gravel, then tarred asphalt, then a smaller gravel, and it kind of sticks out and it gives you a really rough surface. It is less expensive than the asphalt. It's more expensive than gravel, but it gives you the traction that you want, especially in this sort of environment like you're in Alaska. I imagine. I've never been to Alaska, so which you would think I love cold climates. I would go, and it's gorgeous. But I imagine this is what you kind of want there, Keith, okay? Happy dark season. It's coming.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Jack Daniels is proudly served in fine establishments, questionable joints, and everywhere in between. So, no matter where you go in every bar, you'll always know someone by name.
Jack. Jack and Coke?
Shot of Jack?
Jack Daniels, please.
Right away.
That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Tennessee whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery. Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Hey, you guys, it's time to start that seasonal decor. Woohoo! You don't need hay bales in front of your hallway to embrace autumn. But listen, it's totally okay if you do. Just do it. I don't care. I love a bale of hay. But if you want to go the non-traditional route, okay, you can skip the hay bales. You can sprinkle in some subtle seasonal accents like a ceramic pumpkin, maybe just some glass vases that are amber toned, or copper candle holders. That feels very seasonal. You can fill a large bowl with pine cones or dried seed pods for a natural earthy centerpiece. Jim, have you ever heard of those people who have that like phobia or aversion of things that look like those seed pods?
No.
Don't look it up. Don't.
Educate me.
I don't know what it's called, but some people, like, they can't look at, like, pores on a face, and those seed pods, like, really affect them.
Okay.
It's the strangest phobia. So if you have that, do not decorate with dried seed pods. It is bad. But they're really pretty, and they do feel autumny. And Jim, if you go down, like, a Google rabbit hole there, you're going to see things that may give you this phobia. So we'll just skip that.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Use them. Use them in your decor. They're great. You can also use branches with colorful leaves or dried florals like a eucalyptus or wheat and tall vases. Kind of gives you some height and some drama. And remember to stick to a tight color palette so your seasonal decor blends in seamlessly with everything that always exists in your space. I mean, it is a full speed ahead right now into seasonal decor, and I love it.
That really is right up your alley.
I do love it. This is like my favorite time of year. It starts with like the autumny Halloween decor, and it goes right through Easter. I will have the house decorated all the way through sort of the launch of the spring season, and then it's sadness from spring to October.
No, it isn't.
It's not. It's just that is fun.
You ski into spring, don't you?
True, correct. But I still have Easter decor up, and it feels fun to have the house like festive in a fun way. I mean, I did keep my gondola wreath up all year long, and people were like, it's not winter. And I'm like, it is in my heart.
Leslie, I always liked those lights Tom used to put up that were programmable so you could have, different color schemes according to the season or the holiday. I thought those were really cool. I mean, you could support your favorite sport team. You could do all kinds of stuff. And they do look neat. I've seen a bunch. I mean, we've had them on GMA with Deals and Steals. And, we've seen the puck ones that sort of create that triangular shape on the house. Yep. And they're so fun. And when installed right, you can really just change everything up. So now I'm going to have birthday lights. And now we're going to do everything. Jim, let's do it. Cool.
Well, if your home always seems a little too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter, your insulation could be to blame. And with energy bills on the rise, updating or adding insulation is one of the smartest ways to boost comfort and cut those costs. But here's the thing. There's really not a one-size-fits-all solution here when it comes to insulation. So today, we're going to break down the most common types and where they shine so that you can make the best choice for your project. So first up, and I think this is the one everybody's seen before, it's fiberglass bat insulation. It's the big rolls or those pre-cut panels of pink or yellow fluffy stuff. It's best for if you have an open wall cavity, like if you haven't put up the drywall yet, an attic between the joists, an unfinished basement. The good part about the fiberglass bats is that they're affordable, they're very easy to do yourself, and they're widely available in different R values, and that's the measure of thermal resistance. So depending on where you live in the country, there will be a different recommended R value. Like you need R17 to have the proper, heat resistance in your home if you live in the north. So you have to pay attention to that. Now the cons here is that it it has to be installed carefully because gaps and compressing it can seriously reduce effectiveness. So if you just have had some of that fiberglass bat insulation up in your attic and maybe you've been storing stuff or stepping, which you shouldn't do, you'll see it's compressed and it's just not going to work as well. So you've got to add to it or replace it. And the fiberglass can be itchy, so you do have to put on some extra protection like gloves, long sleeves, a mask, eye protection, that sort of thing. Now, loose fill blown insulation, this is kind of stuff that you use when you need to insulate a space that's already closed in, like an attic floor or inside a finished wall. It's great if you've got an attic with a lot of nooks and crannies, or if you're trying to retrofit your insulation within a wall cavity, but that's kind of something a pro should do because you want to make sure that you're putting it in correctly, you're not overfilling certain bays, and they know exactly how to do that. The pros here is that it fills gaps better than the bats. It's good for those weird shaped spaces, and it can be cellulose, which is recycled paper or fiberglass. The downside here is that it usually requires rental equipment or a pro, and it can settle over time, just like all the others, and that can reduce the R value. Now, spray foam insulation, this guy's a powerhouse. The spray foam will expand to fill all the gaps, and that creates both an air and a moisture barrier. This is best for air sealing around your windows, your doors, and your rim joists. It's great for attics, crawl spaces, or hard-to-reach areas, but it's best for new builds or major renovations. The pros here are that you can get an extremely high R value. It seals tight, which is great for preventing those drafts, and it can even add some structural rigidity. The cons, though, it can be kind of expensive. It does have to be installed by a pro, especially a closed cell type, and off-gassing could be an issue during the application process. Now, lastly, let's talk about a rigid foam board insulation. It's a solid panel. It's made of polystyrene or polyiso, so think like a giant hard foam sheet. It's great for a basement wall, exterior insulation underneath a siding, and garage doors or attic hatches. Pros here, you get a high R value per inch. It's moisture resistant, and it's great for continuous insulation. The cons, though, it's not ideal for tight spaces, and it could be labor intensive to install properly. So what's the right choice for you? If it's an attic, you want to go with blown in or fiberglass bats, cost effective, easy to add. If you're looking at a basement, foam boards will resist moisture better than bats. If you're looking for air sealing and performance, spray foam is going to be king here, especially along your rim joists or in a crawl space. And if it's a new construction or a major renovation, you could consider combining types, spray foam plus bats, and you'll get the max performance there. And if you want another pro tip, don't forget your R values. Make sure you head on over to EnergyStar.gov, put in your zip code, and it will tell you the recommended R value for your area. At the end of the day, insulation means a cozier home and a happier wallet. Well, fall isn't just a visual season. I mean, there's so much about fall. It's all about mood. It's all about atmosphere. So why not try swapping bulbs to warm-toned LEDs and adding accent lighting like lanterns or string lights for that golden glow? And you can introduce seasonal scents like cinnamon, clove, or even cedarwood with candles, diffusers, or a stovetop simmer pot. It gives you that wonderful, cozy feeling, and then you can put on your favorite scary movie or a spooky Halloween film and just have the best time, especially on like a rainy, windy evening. You can also use some mirrors to reflect warm lighting around the room, and that can make even a small space feel inviting and toasty. All of this is making me think that chicken pot pie season is also around the corner. That's sort of the area before Thanksgiving and, you know, after Halloween, those few weeks when it's like chilly and damp and you just want to be super cozy. So this really is the best time of year, you guys. All right, let's get to the phones before I start talking more about chicken pot pie. All right, who's up next?
All right, Leslie, we've got a message from Nick regarding a vanity. Let's hear what he has to say.
I bought a vanity kit from Home Depot with the bottom and the top. The top's made out of some kind of, looks like artificial marble. And I want to know the best way to attach the top to the base.
Hey, Nick, thanks so much for calling us at 888 Money Pit. Yeah, you know, it can be pretty confusing because for some reason those vanities like don't really have a way to physically attach the composite top. So, and it's funny because they like come with it. So you'd think it would be like, oh, insert screw here, but it just doesn't. They're not really designed like that, but they're also not really necessary to solidly attach that top. So what you could do is you put the vanity in, get everything level right where you want it, and then you can dry fit the top by inserting it down into the vanity and make sure that the pipes and the drain and all the supplies are aligned and can easily go together. Then I'd kind of take it apart one last time and maybe use some adhesive on the top edge of the vanity. This way, when you put the top back in place, it kind of compresses down. And once it dries, it seals it and kind of glues it in place. And the last thing you would do is run a bead of caulk along the back edge of that countertop to the wall. And then between that caulk and, the adhesive, it really does a good job, and the plumbing. I mean, it really does a good job of just kind of keeping everything in place and giving it a very solid feel. I mean, it's not going to move. So that's pretty much all you need to do. And Super Jelly here, enjoy that new vanity.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.
The holidays have arrived at the Home Depot, and we're here to help bring the excitement with decor for every part of your home. Check out our wide assortment of easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees so you can spend less time setting up and more time celebrating. And bring your holiday spirit outdoors with unique decor like one of our Santa inflatables. Whatever your style, find the right pieces at the right prices this holiday season at the Home Depot.
Well, if you've already sealed the drafts and you've added the insulation, the next smart move here, guys, for energy savings is, well, a smart thermostat. Now, a smart thermostat is one of the simplest ways that you can reduce energy costs and stay comfortable year round. It's a high-tech helper. It can learn your schedule, respond to the weather, and even reduce your carbon footprint without you lifting a finger. So let's start with how they work. Now, unlike traditional thermostats, smart models allow you to create temperature, schedules for different times of the day, detect when you're home or away, and adjust accordingly. That means you're not blasting heat when nobody's home or freezing overnight because the system didn't kick on. And if you're constantly battling over the settings with your family, many smart thermostats will allow for zoned control or multiple profiles so that everyone is happy. Now, installation is usually DIY friendly and it can take under 30 minutes. Most models work with standard low voltage systems, and many manufacturers offer detailed video guides. You're just going to need to kill the power, unscrew that old thermostat, mount the new one, and connect a few labeled wires, and you're done. And once it's up and running, you can control it remotely from your phone. You can adjust the temperature before you get home, and you can even tell your smart speaker to warm things up. And don't forget, many utility companies offer rebates, some $50, some up to $100 for a smart thermostat purchase. Some models even participate in in-demand response programs where you can earn credits for allowing your thermostat to automatically adjust itself during peak energy times. Now, if you're wondering which model is right for you, you can look for Energy Star certified options. Top picks include the Google Nest, ecobee Smart Thermostat, and Honeywell Home T9. Each offers different features like occupancy sensors, learning algorithms, and smart home integrations. Bottom line here, if you're heating and cooling your home efficiently, a smart thermostat is that missing link to comfort, control, and cost savings, especially as we're getting into these colder months. So we've given you all the tools here, you guys. Let us start saving some money. All right, Jim, well, we are about to wrap up this hour, but not before checking our inbox. I know we've got some emails. Who wrote in?
My favorite part of the show. I say that every week, but every week it is. So
I love it.
We've got Billy from New Jersey. He reached out to Team Money Bit, and he's asking, I want to have my storm door and exterior door combination installed. What product information can you recommend? Oh, that's smart.
Well, I mean, back in the day when the main door was just wood and not insulated because wood itself has very minimal amounts of insulative properties, storm doors were a good idea and they did help. But I think as we've become more familiar with steel doors and fiberglass, they aren't as helpful. And when you had a steel door that had lights in them, the glass, then the storm door was, kind of giving it like a greenhouse effect, and the sun would come through the storm door and the glass and the metal, it would heat up, and the trim around the window panes would kind of melt. So the bottom line is you don't really need a storm door today. If you buy a good quality steel or fiberglass door, these will be far more efficient. The weather stripping systems are all integral, so if you put that door in and it's straight and it's square, you're not going to have any gaps around any of the sides of the top or the bottom. So personally, I don't think you need a storm door. What you could consider is a good quality screen door. I mean, it's really nice to have a screen door because you can open the front door, you can let the air in, you can kind of feel more welcoming. But a storm door for, insulative purposes, I think isn't really necessary if you have an up-to-date door. Now, if you don't, and this is really something that you want to add to what's there, maybe we can address some of the other things that are probably causing some of these drafts or other issues so that we can avoid putting the storm door on. But if you're going brand spanking new, you're not going to need the combo there. Just look for a door that's Energy Star rated, that has all of those interlocking components to give you the best energy seal, and you're going to love it just the way it is. All right, who's next?
Well, who's next on Door Day, do you mean? Because we have another question here.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, and it's from Steve. And Steve says he has a metal threshold that was previously connected to the cement foundation with glue. Well, that threshold has come loose, and there's a crack in the cement that expands the entire width of the door from jamb to jamb. How do you deal with that? It sounds like he's trying to avoid buying a whole new door just for that threshold part, Les.
Yeah, but I mean, I would kind of start with filling the crack. That would be a good first step. However, you want to make sure that you do this with a good quality epoxy patching compound and not just regular cement, because a regular cement patch isn't going to stick. Second, have you thought about Tapcon fasteners? Now, Tapcon fasteners are sort of a screw that's meant specifically for concrete, and they have excellent holding power. The threading's different. They have a different bit. They kind of just go in there and they grab a lot better, and it's going to hold better than any adhesive would. So I think what you want to do is make that repair in the crack and then reattach that threshold with a Tapcon, and that's really going to be super sturdy and help you out. If the masonry, however, is starting to crumble and you can't get that Tapcon to kind of stick in there, you can take a little bit of metal wire and kind of crumple it up and stick it into the hole first, and then drive the Tapcon in, and it kind of gives it these spiky arms that really give it the extra grip. So I think this is your trick, Stephen, all right?
All right, Les.
Well, that's a wrap for this hour of the Money Pit. We kick things off by tackling those chilly fall drafts, how to spot them and stop them before they hike up your heating bills. Then we broke down the best insulation options for every part of your home, from the attic to the basement. And we wrapped with a smart home spin, talking all about thermostats, from basic to brainy, and how to pick the right one for your space and budget. Big thanks to Billy from New Jersey for his question about storm and exterior door combos. Great timing for fall home improvements. If you missed anything or you want to dive deeper, head to moneypit.com. Until next time, I'm Leslie Segretti. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. And remember, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone. Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT. Woo!
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.